Now, there has been this debate whether William Samoei Ruto will vie using his UDA party come 2027 or he will change allegiance. And that is what we are here to debate on. Actually, this is informed from a point of view with regards to the previous presidents we've had. And we are going to take this back in 2002. Now, for those of you who are not yet born by then, that is when Kenya was getting its first real democracy, whereby multipartyism was now getting in. Remember, for a period of time, the only party that was known was KANU. KANU was the party that led this nation all through the, is it 21 or so years under the rule of President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. That is the second president of Kenya after Jomo Kenyatta. Now, when multi-party came, there came lots of parties. We had now Ford Kenya, we had NAK Kenya, we had DP. There were so many parties that came with multipartyism. Now, towards the 2002 elections, the antagonists were Moi Kibaki and Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. Now, per se, people were not like voting for Moi Kibaki, but rather they were doing a regime change whereby they were voting out Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, whom they considered to be a dictator by then. So the party that took Moi Kibaki to power was NAK Kenya by then. It was a ground collusion. It was so massive. And actually, Moi Kibaki won with a landslide. That is the only year we never saw people disputing that election results. It was the year that we never saw court petitions that somebody was saying he was rigged out. Actually, Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi accepted defeat, but he said one thing: Wagenya mutanikumbuka. Yes, he said that we are going to remember him. I don't know for what, but that is how he used to say. Now, Moi Kibaki, coming to seek re-election for 2007, came with the PNU party. He never used NAK to vie for his second term. Elections were disputed, post-election violence broke out, but still he defended his seat in second term. That is when we had the Grand Coalition government after his handshake with Raila Amolo Odinga, who was the main contender in those elections. Then came Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta with the famous TNA. You remember TNA? Yes. TNA, where Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was vying for the presidency while William Samoei Ruto was his running mate. They did that first term so well, and things were moving on perfectly. It was a nice marriage. Come 2017, there were elections again, and this time it was now Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta with his deputy William Samoei Ruto. They now used the Jubilee Party, whereby all the parties that were supporting Uhuru Kenyatta had to merge and be under one umbrella, which was the Jubilee Party. Yeah, so people went into elections. They won the elections according to the results then, and things were moving on well until There broke out these post-election violence, and again, as usual, there was the famous handshake between Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga. Now, the marriage between Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and William Samoei Ruto did have shambles. Now, later on, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and his deputy were not now seeing eye to eye. Things were tough. And for a start, people were saying, no, we are good, we are good. But later on, it was established that they were not in good terms. And now they had to just live and accommodate each other like a husband and wife through to 2022, whereby William Samoei Ruto declared he is vying for presidency. Now, this was a little bit funny because Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was supporting Raila Amolo Odinga, but Ruto, with his running mate Rigathi Gachagua, took the lead. Now, the question is, Mwai Kibaki came with NARC Kenya in his first term, second term, came with the PNU. Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta came with the TNA for the first term, second term came with the Jubilee. William Samoei Ruto came in with UDA. Now, in his second term, which party is he going to come with? Now, this is where there are insinuations that William Samoei Ruto might go back home, which is ODM. And he might use ODM to vie for presidency in 2027. Is it a miss or a hit? For you who look into politics and dig deeper, do you think William Samoei Ruto using ODM will give him traction, will give him mileage politically, or will it be the last seal of the coffin? Now, let us analyze this. Him saying that there were people who used to disturb him and were putting on sufuria on their heads. But because the Nakuru residents are good farmers and yielding so much food, they made those people be quiet. And now they're not disturbing him. Two, there was this incident in Kakamega where he said that, the only person who was giving me a headache in this race, or who would have given me a headache in this race, is Raila Amolo Odinga. But the other lot remaining, those are people that we should not even be worried about. What did he mean? Now, who are these people who are putting on sufuria onto their heads? Is it not the same ODM persons that is trying to smear their name, that now they are eating? You know that eating is symbolical. It means they are getting a meal. They're getting some good meal in government. They are eating on the same table. Now, it is we Kenyans who are going through a tough time, being overtaxed for these minions to feed. And now, how do you think the ODM are taking these statements that they used to put on sufuria on their heads, but because they are eating, they are now well fed, they are keeping quiet? Yes, in Africa, it is bad manners to talk with food in your mouth. You understand, right? Yes. So, do you still think Ruto is going to come up with a new party, or he is going to use ODM? Your guess is as good as mine. Give me your take in the comment section below. Let me know what you're thinking. If you love content of this nature and you're watching from our YouTube channel, kindly subscribe and press the notification button, so anytime that we are live or we upload content of this nature, you'll be the very first person to be notified. Ahmed Halif is my name for the Unscripted Talks here in Dub Radio. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Kwa timba kali za Afrika, DAB Radio ndio mpango mzima.